It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, what is today? The 22nd day of November already. A couple things to announce this morning, folks, before we get started. Number one, we are having wonky Wi-Fi issues this morning. I was just down at our cruise ship doctor meeting, and Hot Air Tom said he was having trouble with his Wi-Fi. So if it's wonky today, I apologize. Not much I can do about it. Before we get to it today, let's get this out of the way now. This has been an extraordinarily difficult week for me. And don't take this negatively. It's just been one of those weeks. Of course, I had some issues that just threw me kind of for a loop. I've had extra responsibilities and things that I do with the group that we have on board. I probably haven't spent as much time with some of those folks as I'd like because I'm doing 17,000 other things. I'm also, I've tried to deal with issues with further cruises and guests, which has taken a lot of time away. Keep in mind, folks, for me to put on this show takes approximately 5 to 6 hours of my time. That's between research, writing, producing, doing the show itself, then getting it up, promoting it, and all the things that fit into it. So just think about it when you're on a cruise. You have X amount of hours you sleep, X amount of hours you eat, X amount of hours you do things. Subtract 6 hours out of your day that you can't do any of those things and see how that leaves you. And it's bothered me a little more this week than normal. And I realize you guys have all been very liberal with me in the keeping up with my schedules and so forth. But I'm also getting older. So I'm thinking about this. Has not been decided yet. We talked about it a little this morning at breakfast. I will be talking probably more about some of you guys as we go on. I'm thinking about taking my schedule back to 3 days a week. Don't know what 3 days they are yet. I haven't gotten that put together, but just to give me a little bit more of a life. It'd be one thing if I was, making thousands of dollars a month like some of the guys in the business are, that have 100,000 followers and stuff. They make enough money so it pays for their cruises and, plus gives them other monies. Well, I'm not that fortunate. I'm lucky if I take in a couple $100 a month, and it costs me more than that to do this. Not to mention cruising. So I am considering doing that. It's not final yet, but the more I think about it, especially next year when I'm, basically 4 months, I'm going to be gone and have no idea on Wi-Fi signals, how well I'm going to be able to do on transatlantics. It's just, it's an unknown. So I'll talk to a few more people about this and make a determination by then. So I may be dropping back to 3 days a week. However, I'm open to comment. Please message me, email me, put it in the chat room, whatever you want to do. If your thoughts about it, opposed to it, you think I'm totally full of you know what, I don't care, but I appreciate your comments and thoughts on it. Since this is Friday, I'm going to be traveling on Monday. We get into Port Canaveral tomorrow. I am staying in Port Canaveral one night. I will head home on Sunday, and I'll be traveling on Monday. I'll stop somewhere on the road. I have to break this up into 2 days. So I've just decided there's not going to be a show on Monday. I'll catch up with everything on Tuesday when I'm back home in studio. But I have to make sure, no matter what the weather is, that I'm back home, because I've got that stupid MRI coming up on Wednesday. So there is no way around it. Snow or no snow, or rain or sleet or hail or whatever the postmen have to go through. So there'll be no show on Monday. I'll catch everything up on Tuesday when I'm back in studio. All right. Other than that, it's been a marvelous week with the cruise ship doctor gang. I met with Jerry last night for almost probably 2.5 hours. There may have been a couple of adult beverages involved, but a lot of swapping stories back and forth, and I have so enjoyed meeting him. And Adele was our pianist for this thing. Gwen, who sang. It's been fun. Of course, Jerry did a lot of readings from his book. It's a delightful book. If any of you have ever, it's called The Cruise Ship Doctor. It's worth the read. It really is. So that part of the week has been fun, but it's been busy. I haven't been able to do a lot of the things that I normally like to do as far as researching the ship for accessibility issues, doing my filming. I've done some of both. Of course, I've been on the Epic before, and that helps somewhat. I do have a few minor issues to discuss with folks today that I found, and there are things that I'm quite sure nothing can be done about them, but they've kind of jumped up this time. One is the strips across the floor. They're metal strips. I'm not sure what purpose they serve, but they're a bump, almost like a speed bump. And yeah, I know to not try to go over those fast or it'll knock my teeth out. But there are at times where it'll actually throw your chair if you don't hit it just square on. There's a little one here in the room. One of the ironic things about this, which I'll be writing about in my accessibility report, there's a curved carpet piece. The way the Epic is laid out, when I've got the sink behind me, not in the bathroom, and that little, it's not a big metal strip, but it's just a little metal edging on the carpet. And my heavy chair hits that little strip wrong, and it throws the chair. So it's really strange. I've never run into that before, and maybe it's because it's curved and I'm not hitting things square. But anyway, a few little things. Overall, I still love the Epic. Despite its idiosyncrasies, the food's been great. The service is wonderful. The staff has been just, as always, just excellent. It was really nice when I got on board last Saturday. I can't tell you how many staff members came up and said, "Hey, Chillie, it's good to see you back." I haven't been on this ship since February, I think it was. I don't get that kind of reception on many ships. So there's just something about the Epic that's just it's in a class all its own. Yeah, it's got some idiosyncrasies. There's the things about it that the average cruiser is probably going to be upset about. But if you know about it, like this silly sinks, It is, other than the fact that I prefer and it's handier for me to have the sink in the bathroom when I can carry a business in there. But so the sink's, behind me. You can see it over my shoulder here. I think you can see it. I can see it in the mirror. So no, I gotta go this way. Yeah, see the sink. Yeah, it's right here. That's the sink. Okay. Now, would this be a problem if somebody was in this cabin with me? Maybe. Would it be uncomfortable to for somebody to be in the room when I'm brushing my teeth? Maybe. I'm sure that could be worked around. And maybe for a husband and wife, it wouldn't matter because they might be in that situation all the time. It's not that part of it's not a problem with me, because I'm solo. It's just not the way I'd like it. Is that going to keep me from booking cruises on the Epic? No, because so many other things about the Epic are really good. All right, that's wasting a little bit of more time than I wanted to waste this morning. Anyway, so guys, no show on Monday. I'll make it up to you on Tuesday or sometime. So anyway, welcome to Friday Travel and Cruise Industry News, the last show from the Epic on this cruise. Of course, this is brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around and Chillie's Cruises. And by all means, folks, and I've talked to several people on this ship, if you have mobility issues, minor or what, or, you're getting in my age range or higher, don't try to struggle walking if you have issues at all. Rent a scooter or a chair. Scoot Around's wonderful people. It's not all overly expensive. Just call them and rent one so you don't have to go through that hassle. I mean, it was the best thing I ever did. And that was almost 12 years ago now since I rented my first scooter. And obviously, my body has deteriorated quite a bit since I started on scooters, to the point now where I'm in a chair pretty much full time. Don't kill yourself on a cruise. Enjoy your cruise, folks. And if it means spending an extra, $150 or something for a 7-day cruise, do it. All right. I have some breaking news this morning to start the show off. The lead story today is Norwegian cancels 40 cruises. Also today, Mike Pack announces his retirement. No topless sunbathing, and Royal Caribbean Goes Haiti, and lots more live here today at 11 o'clock. It's kind of a goofy day. News was very sparse until 20 minutes ago, and stories crept up. So I thought I was going to do a show today with one story. Today is National Cranberry Relish Day. Not my favorite. My family gives me hell about this every year at Thanksgiving. If I'm having turkey, I love turkey. I love just about everything else about a turkey dinner: mashed taters and gravy and stuffing and green bean casserole. And it's some of the side dishes that, I love the meal. Cranberries, give me the damn old-fashioned can with the gel. You open the can up and you dump it in a bowl and you scoop a spoon out of it to put on your plate. You want to make a turkey sandwich? I put that on my turkey sandwich too. Don't care for the relish. That's just me. All right. This is a day in history that's actually very important to me. You guys know that I'm tighter than a tick. As far as money goes, I spend as little as possible. This is one thing that I support financially as much as I can. In 1954, the Animal Welfare Organization, the Humane Society of the United States, is established. They've been sheltering pets ever since and matching them to their ideal homes. I support them. I've gotten the last dog I got there was my sister took over, and that was a little Shih Tzu. And of course, the bosses of the household now, Charmin and Continental, came from the Humane Society. So we're big believers in them. Absolutely. So I honor them today. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. So I've got to give you a little background on the first thing I'm going to do here today. I've been lucky enough in my lifetime to be around royalty one time. I actually got to meet Prince Charles, who's now the king, King Charlie. And that was very brief and not significant at all, but I was. I've been in contact and met a couple presidents, a bunch of U.S. senators and congressmen. I did a lot of lobbying both for the state legislature in West Virginia and in the U.S. Government, the Senate and the House in Washington. Wow. A dozen, at least, governors, a bunch of people in the entertainment industry. So much so that that's to me just like meeting everyday Joe. Because I've gotten to know enough of those people to know that they put their pants on the same way I do. I never have been one of those people to go try to get autographs or anything. I just, it's just been part of my life, all my life. It just seems to go on and on and on. So we had a loyalty dinner, a cocktail party, the other night on this cruise. I was unaware of the importance of the fact that I have been around a royalty that I couldn't imagine. This was right after the captain announced all the senior staff members and shared little anecdotes about each one of them. Like, this is Joe Smo. He's in charge of putting 45,000 rolls of toilet paper on the ship. Whatever, It's about, 10 minutes that they talk, and then they want to get the hell out of there so they can get out of their stupid uniforms. And then the lady took over that was sponsoring the event, who was the loyalty program for Norwegian. And she's the person talking. It's right at the end. You'll see the officers going away.
Ships and growing ever since. We are now operating 20 ships in the Norwegian Cruise Line brand, and there are more ships that are coming. Next year we'll have the Aqua, and then the Luna, and then we will have more ships. We have actually, I don't know if it was 6 ships or, but definitely we have signed contracts for more ships to come. So the reason we are doing this is because of you guys coming back to us over and over again. So thank you very much for this. Like I said, we have 1,600 crew members on board. I would like to introduce them all for you, but it's going to take forever. So I will introduce the senior management on board. My name is Rune. I've been with the company since 1998. Was on the Sun. Well, the Wind, the Dream was the first ship, the Norwegian Sea. There's some for different kind of ships. Now I'm on the Epic, the best ship that we have. Well, we're going to start with the first in line. This is our staff captain, Marco, all the way from Italy. Marco has been promoted captain, so he's going to the sky. So if any of you are going to cruise on the sky in the near future, you're going to meet him there. Congratulations, Marco. Next is the man in charge of the 120,000 horses that we have on board. He's in charge of the entire technical operation on board. 120,000 horsepower power plant, producing around 80,000 kilowatts, correct? Meaning that in my town where I live, there's like 45,000 people in that little village. If we parked the Epic there, we could light up the entire city. That's the size of the power plant that we have on board. In charge of this, Ivan, chief engineer from Bulgaria. In charge of the largest department on board, the entire hotel operation is being run by Amir, general manager from Croatia. He has a right-hand lady to his left, assistant general manager Dia, all the way from the Philippines. In charge of the food and beverage operation on board, Rajit from India. And the one and only running the 24/7 guest service operation, guest service manager Kat from the Philippines. Our restaurant manager Maureen from the Philippines. Next gentleman is the legend. He takes care of 2,114 cabins, guest cabins. Then he also takes care of 1,500 crew cabins every day, almost all by himself. Our executive housekeeper Cesar from Honduras. Our beverage manager Petrus from St. Lucia. And the man in charge of the entertainment program on board. Is the entertainment okay? Is it good? Thank you. Is the cruise director Daniel all the way from Brazil. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is us. If you have any concerns, these are the ladies and gentlemen to see. If you have any compliments, I will be around too. Thank you.
All right, folks, one more round of applause for our senior officers of the Norwegian Airport. So we're at sea. Obviously, they are very, very busy, so we're letting them go quite early. However, I really want to thank every single one of you for taking the time and coming and joining us for the party. And of course, does everybody have enough drinks?
Yes!
Are you sure? Because he needs one more. The more you drink, the better I sound, right? Yeah. All right, folks. So once again, I really want to thank you for taking the time, coming to see us. Now, we have about 4,200 passengers this cruise, which 2,200 of them are Latitude members. Of course, here at the party, we have our silver and above members. So there's quite a few Latitude members that's always coming back to Norwegian Cruise Lines. However, there's one special gentleman that I would like to point out. Mr. Henry, right over there. Give a big wave. Now, folks, I want you to give him a big round of applause because he is actually our one and only ambassador member on board with a total of 722 points. That means that he has spent over 722 nights with us here on NCL. So once again, give him a big round of applause. And like Captain has
All right, so what she was talking about, Mr. Henry, that's hot air Tom, folks. He's the only ambassador on this ship. Of course, he's reached ambassador status. My hat's off. That's just awesome, Tom. I'm glad you're getting the benefit from it now as he's starting to get some specialty things. They're starting to use Tom's now some with a lot of things. So that was pretty neat. It was unexpected. He had no idea she was going to do that. Cindy didn't know. I didn't know. It was just pretty neat for our own hot air Tom to be recognized like that. So, and by the way, folks, you know how I screw things up. I edited the film of that last night to just have where they're talking about Hot Air Tom, and I loaded it into my system last night. It's not there. It disappeared. So I tried to, after I started there, and I said, "Oh my God, that's the first of a 5-minute video clip." I went in the background, went looking for the thing that I edited out. I tried to download it again from my editing software. It downloaded. I still can't find it. So I got something screwed up someplace. Anyway, congratulations, Tom. All right. I'll be back with a couple news stories after a quick break from one of our wonderful network sponsors. All right, so the breaking news, folks, started this morning. Probably an hour ago, it was announced that today's Norwegian epic visit to Great Stirrup Cay was canceled due to high wind. That makes 5 visits in a row for me that I've been unable to go ashore here at Great Stirrup Cay, which is, of course, Norwegian's private island. It's also the island that they have the tenders now that have an elevator lift in it. That I can't say it was because of me, but that's one of the things that I hammered with Norwegian way back when, that you got to be able to get your disabled guests ashore. So they went out and bought 3 tenders with an elevator in them. Hot Air Tom's been on it. So we know that it works. Guest services, the regular guys at the desk, weren't aware of it. They said, "Oh, you still have to do a couple steps." No, you don't. The whole point of them doing that is so somebody in a wheelchair or a scooter can get on the tender and get off at Great Stirrup Cay. So I still haven't been able to try it. So that's our breaking news today. The next story, and the main story today, folks, also comes from Norwegian. And boy, this there's a lot of talk and rumors and guesses going by, and which I'm one of them, I have to admit it. Norwegian Cruise Line is canceling a total of 38 cruises on board 3 of its ships. This is according to a statement went out yesterday to travel advisors. Sailing aboard the Norwegian Jewel, the Norwegian Star, and the Norwegian Dawn. The cruises were scheduled to take place between November 2025 and April 2026. Canceled cruises on board the Jewel include all itineraries that were set to depart between November 23rd and April 5th, 2026. The ship was scheduled to offer a series of 16 5 to 14 night cruises in the Caribbean and Bahamas, departing from Tampa. The Norwegian Star cancellation includes the ship full season in South America and Antarctica, which featured 11 cruises between November 20th, 2025 and April 14th, 2026. Sailings on board the Norwegian Dawn include all sailings previously scheduled to depart between November 2nd, 2025 and April 12th, 2026. Sailing around Africa and then Asia, the ship was poised to offer 11 cruises during the time frame, visiting ports in the Indian Ocean, Southeast Asia, Middle East, and more. Replacement sailings have not yet been revealed. Norwegian also canceled sailings on board Norwegian Sun and the Norwegian Getaway. Citing fleet redeployment, the company canceled a 14-night cruise to the South Pacific on board the Sun, which was scheduled to depart August 7th, 2025. Also canceled was the August 17th and August 21st, 2026 sailings on board the Getaway due to a ship charter. Now, why all these cancellations? I don't know. Other than these are some of the, not the smallest and oldest, but smaller and older ships in the fleet. Just as a sideline, there's a rumor, and this is strictly rumor, folks, that Viking is rumored to be eyeing an acquisition. I wonder if those two stories might be related. I'm not saying they are, but it's an interesting thought. All right, so the next story today comes from Carnival. Longtime cruise director Mike Pack is packing in the towel. Popular cruise director Mike Pack has announced his retirement. Over the course of 13 years, Mike became one of the most beloved Carnival cruise directors and continued to gain popularity once he was promoted to fleet director in 2022. The official announcement was followed up with a personal post from Pack on his public Facebook page. He said, "From the team members and friends I've worked alongside to the guests who've made my time at Carnival so rewarding, it's the memories and experiences we've created together that mean the most to me." I was able to meet Mike once, sailed with him once. He was good, definitely good cruise director. Very personable, very energetic, very enjoyable, and obviously very serious about his job. So congratulations to Mike for your years of service, and whatever you're going to do in the future, my friend, good luck. All right. Let's see. Time for a quick commercial break. I got to do that, folks.
Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code CHILLIE for all your mobility needs. That's scootaroundstore.com.
Scoot Around, now owned by Will Power Chairs. Good folks. Good folks. All right. This one doesn't surprise me. Also from Carnival, for guests hoping to return from their cruise with a new tan, catching the rays from the pool deck is typically the way to do it. But while some guests aren't afraid to mingle with their fellow cruisers while scantily clad in tiny bikinis and those awful Speedos, no offense, men, the key is that they are at least wearing something. As with many of the mainstream cruise line, Carnival prohibits topless or nude sunbathing. Daggone it. I'm kidding. A long time ago, they did this. However, there's been rumors recently that topless sunbathing could be making a comeback on Carnival ships. Those rumors are totally untrue. I don't know why people started. Carnival's cracking down on things. They're not going to open something like that up. Not when a family cruise line with their kids on board, they're not going to let any nakedity be around. Not going to happen. That might happen on Virgin. It's not going to happen on Carnival. All right, the last story this morning comes from our friends over at Royal Caribbean. Considering the rising tension in Haiti, some in the cruise community have been left scratching their heads as to why Royal Caribbean would continue sailing to the private destination of Labadee, Haiti. After three separate commercial planes were shot at in Port-au-Prince in early November, the Federal Aviation Administration prohibited flights to Haiti, while Royal Caribbean doubled down on its decision to return to Labadee. In a letter to the guest, Royal Caribbean says, kindly note that the civil unrest taking place in Port-au-Prince is 128 miles south of our private destination. The drive on less than ideal road conditions would take more than 6.5 hours. In addition to being far removed from the current chaos, the 260-acre resort is a controlled access area with private security in place and is only open to Royal Caribbean guests and employees. The private beach area is also fenced off with armed guards protecting it, who are usually kept out of sight, but are always looking out for visitors. As a heavily guarded area that is separated from the general population of Haiti, crime rates are much lower than in non-guarded areas. So Royal Caribbean is very comfortable with their decisions, and they also point out that the private beach area is fenced off with armed guards. They're usually kept out of sight, but they're there. So they're comfortable with it. They wouldn't put us in harm's way. So I got to go along with them on this. There's been no incidents or anything even close to smelling like an incident since they started going back to Labadee. Time will tell. All right. That's actually going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. Told you there wasn't a lot of news today. Folks, the last 2 or 3 days, the news has been relatively light. I would like to know the reasoning behind Norwegian canceling all those cruises. I can't see a redeployment that would affect that many cruises over that long a period of time. But I don't know. Maybe one day we'll know. All right, let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room today. Started off this morning, Mike was in the house. Oh, there's one of our ex-folks. Sang is with us. Good morning, Sang. Kenneth's here from a cold and windy Pennsylvania. There's Mike. There's Hot Air Tom. I left him about 20 minutes ago before I started the show. Good morning for the epic where we are not getting off today. Chillie misses another visit to Great Surf Key. Yeah, I know. I'm beginning to think it's a figment of their imagination. I've been there once, I think. Yeah, once that I actually got on board on land. Wonder what they're going to do with all that food. You know, they do a cookout for 4,000 people. We're going to have burgers and dogs. I don't know. Gary Older than Dirt's with us. Good morning, Gary. There's Steve out in Kentucky. Says good morning to everybody. Katie's with us. Says happy Friday. There's Sunny down in Mississippi. She says hello from the cold South. It's going to suck. You notice that I have a long sleeve shirt on, folks. I'm prepared to start getting into colder weather. I did not pack for snow and crap. I do have, I've got long sleeve shirts, long pants, and a sweatshirt, hoodie sweatshirt. That's going to have to do me till I get home. Todd's with us. Hey, Todd, good morning to you. All right, let's see here. Katie says it's cool there as well. There's Gretchen. I'm surprised to see you. I thought you said yesterday was the last live from the Epic. No. Did I say that? Today's the last live from the Epic. I don't think I said that, Gretchen. I mean, if I did, that was a mistake. Gretchen says freezing there. Yeah, I'm sure. There's Bob. Good morning, all. Snowed here. Yuck, I agree. I haven't heard if we got any snow at home, but I did see that the temperature is certainly down in the vicinity where it could have. Sonny says, Katie, so nice. I'm loving it. You got just hell, I'll send you some. Gretchen says her snow is gone. Yeah, she had a very small amount considering I was judging it from that football game with, man, if any of you watched the Cleveland and Steelers playing the other night, it was like the Snow Bowl again. 49 this morning in Orlando. My word. Gretchen says it's 37 there. Okay, folks, you're making me cold just telling me that. Sonny says 3 days a week is good. Do it. Thank you, Sonny. I love the cool weather. You get to bring out what? Oh, your sweaters. Yeah. Go back to 3 days. You don't have to do more. Or lives while you cruise every day. Make it easier on yourself. Thanks, Gretchen. I'm not saying I want to do this, but it's a point where I'm feeling more that I've got to do something to, so I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's I don't want this to be a royal pain in the ass. Excuse my French. And when I'm missing out on things that I want to be doing, or I'm not getting accomplished when I'm not doing them because of the amount of time I'm spending doing this and not making a whole lot of money. It'd be a different story if I was making lots of money. Yeah, then it would be worth it. But I'm not. So I want to get enjoyment out of this as well. And to continue doing the good work that I've been doing for the handicap community, the accessible community. Katie says, Chillie deserves a life. You do what you need to do for your health. You have a lot on your plate, so I'm good with whatever you decide to do. Thank you, Katie. Gretchen says, here, I second that. Thank you, guys. Hot Air Tom, Taste has Monte Cristo on the menu today, and it opens at 12. We will meet you down at the restaurant noonish. Okay. Man, I'm still full from breakfast. I had my huevos rancheros today, and that's filling. But I'll see if I can't get done and down there 12-ish. Tom, I'd join you if I was there. Love Monte Cristo. We had a Monte Cristo the other day. I might have something different today. But the Monte Cristo was good. It was really good. Sonny loves the wacky epic. I do, Sonny. I mean, there's some things that can be a royal pain in the butt. To get to the Taste restaurant for me is awful. I have to go from one end of the ship to the other to get on the elevator that'll take me to 5. My elevator, which is, 30 feet from my room, maybe a little longer than that, but, 10 seconds from my room, I can't go to 5. So I have to get off at 6 or 7 and, run the whole length of the ship to get on the other elevator to go down to 5. And the same thing coming back. So, yeah, it's one of the idiosyncrasies of of the Epic, and I hate it, but I still like the ship. So, let's see. Hot Air says the food has been even better than on Jim. Yeah, I've never had problem with food on the Epic. It's always been good. And the last time I was on the Epic, I don't remember if I had specialty dining. I may have had like one, but yeah, I'm perfectly good with the main dining room here. I'm looking forward tonight. I'm going to Cagney's tonight. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we went to Moderno earlier in the week, and I'm like, I'm still full from Moderno. That's how much food I ate. Now it was really good though. Hot Air says the breakfast menu has potatoes with onions with many selections. Epic has been the first ship that prepared the potatoes without onions, and the cubes are larger than prior ships. And I can witness that, folks, because I've had breakfast with Tom most weeks. Todd says 3 days a week would be easier on you, and it would allow cruise news to build more on slow days. Yeah, that's the other thing. I spend 4 or 5 hours getting the show ready, and there's 2 news stories. I mean, that really sucks. And there's no way I know that. Good point, Todd. Thank you. NCL changed the recipe. If NCL changed the recipe, or if Epic is just straying from the norm, they were tasty. Yeah, he's liked it. Now, I will say one thing about Tom's allergy to onions. I'm a big fan of lox and bagels, but they call it open-faced salmon on a bagel with cream cheese and capers and onions and tomato. It's the same thing. So the first morning I was with it, he said, "Woo, man, I smell that onion." I didn't even think about smelling. So I just asked him the other days when I've been with Tom if I could get the lox and bagel without the onion. I don't want him to, have something that bothers him. And I didn't care. The onion's not that much in a lox and bagel anyway. But yeah. So when Tom says he has a problem with onions, he has a problem with onions. He really does. Or Cindy, good morning, Cindy.
A new station alert
I've always
has arrived.
Oh, hush, phone. I've always had a shelter dog, the best pets, I agree. Who knew Hat was a potato head? Oh, that's good, Sonny. I love it. Congratulations to Mr. Henry, Katie says. Congratulations on ambassador level, Tom. Congratulations, Tom. That's super. There's Kirk Brunson. Congratulations, Tom. Glad to have you, Kirk, with us. That's awesome. Sonny says, don't you get a free cruise now? Yep. The one we are on was the comped cruise. Oh, okay. Sonny says, sweet. Gretchen says, congratulations to Tom. The base fare is free, but taxes, port charges, and SFS charges is still required, and no perks are allowed. No free at sea or the stockholder OBC. At least we did get on board latitude benefits for 2. Dinners and the other normal perks. And Hot Air Tom says, thanks for all the congratulations. Sherry's with us. Good morning, Sherry. Morning, everyone. Tom, I'd love to get to that comp status someday. Congratulations. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I've figured out with what I've got booked ahead, I'll still be platinum by the end of April. So, I mean, I'm nowhere near ambassador level. Good Lord. I wouldn't be near ambassador level with Royal, that I still have the most days on Royal, I think, of all the cruise lines. No, I have the most days with Carnival. But a lot of those were before it meant anything. So, but anyway, yeah, so it's, I feel really good for Tom. That's just awesome. And then for them to, out of 4,000 people, there's one. Does that tell you how important that is? Holy cow. There's Amy. Good morning, Amy. Gretchen says a great game. Yeah, you know what? I'm a Steeler fan. I've always been a Steeler fan. I'm sorry they lost, but it was a good football game. There were mistakes. There were mistakes both ways, The Browns quarterback threw an awful interception that looked like that would put an end to the game. Then they turn around and stop the Steelers. And the punter, who normally is one of the best in the league, shanks one. And it's a 15-yard punt. Not surprised in the snow. But the Browns had great field position, and they moved in and scored the winning touchdown. They did what they're supposed to do. The Steelers went down the field and got at least close enough to try outrageously long field goal. That was over. So, did you ever do the room tour of the bathroom shower situation? I might have missed it if you did. I haven't posted it yet, but I talked about it. Yeah, so that's the way it is. Everywhere on this ship is like this is. So, unless maybe you're at some of those super expensive suites, but the balconies and the insides are all the same configuration. I did check through that. So, I did a video on it. I've talked about it a couple times. It's not anything for me to be that upset about, but then I'm solo. And I can understand where, two people in the room, it could cause a little problem. But there's not problems you couldn't get around. Cindy says, gotta go. All right, Sin, no show Monday. My opinion, only La Bistro has better filet than Cagney's. I love La Bistro too, but I don't mind Cagney's either. But yeah, La Bistro's, that's awesome as well. All right, guys, that's going to put an end to things today. I got to try to get the process started and go meet Hot Air Tom and Cindy for lunch, probably Roger for lunch. So, again, no show on Monday. I will be back on the air on Tuesday, and maybe we'll talk about this new scheduling a little bit further. So, you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you're not in the snow. If you are, be really careful. We don't want to see anybody slipping and sliding and wrecking. And I'll see you when I get home on Tuesday. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. And hopefully one day soon I'll get caught up with all the content I want to get posted and haven't got a chance to post any of it. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you Tuesday.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats,
and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.